It's good to see you. It's so good to be here. Wow, I grew up in this church. I actually got baptized there like almost 30 years ago. But this is so special because not only is it Alumni Weekend, not only is it Mother's Day, Teacher Appreciation. Someone said it's a high Sabbath. It's like an extra high Sabbath. So it's so good to be here. So my name is Andrea. I used to be Ondricek. I'm sure everyone probably knows my dad, Rod Ondricek, because he's like the nicest man in the world, and served his heart out here for years and years. But yes, I grew up in this church, and I was known as very bubbly, very happy, very positive, and I just am so grateful for this community because you guys have poured into me to where I could be that way. So I'm just grateful I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces, and what you do matters. Pouring into kids matters. So thank you for doing that. My now husband, when he was kind of scoping me out, he asked my brother, is Andrea like happy all the time? And do you know what my wonderful brother said? He said yes, and it's annoying. So there you go. Thank you, Jay. He's not here to defend himself. But being happy was part of my identity. Fast forward to 2020. I am happily married. I have 2 daughters, ages 3 and 1. I get to live near my family. I'm in a wonderful church family community. I get to do a job that's meaningful and enjoyable. I have lots of friends, aka I'm living my dream life. And it's super, super sweet. So I am doing an online personality test with my daughter. She's sitting next to me. I'm doing it for myself, but she's just there. And I'm reading the questions, and I come across one that makes me smile. Because I'm like, wow, this question was made for me. It said, are you happy and positive all the time? And I smile, and I look at my darling daughter, and I say, is that me? Do you know what she does? She laughs. She laughs and she says, no way. I'm like, wait a minute. Being happy, being a positive person, that's part of my identity. How come the ones closest to me don't see me that way? So I started taking a closer look at myself, and actually took a closer look at myself. I started looking at candid pictures of me taken around the house. This is not me in public, being this positive person. This is me in the house. And do you know what I saw? I didn't see a smile, but I did see an annoyed, a frustrated, a peeved look on my face. And I thought, wait a minute. I am living my dream life. How come it's not reflecting? How come it's not coming out to the ones that I love most? And so that was a big wake-up call. And then I started noticing other things about me. There's nothing like 2020 to bring perspective, correct? So I took kind of a closer look at me. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm kind of a fearful person. I'm kind of an anxious person. And not very resilient. I had noticed something very uncomfortable about myself, that I had become a queen of comfort. So my husband, he's a very adventurous man, and I love jumping into all of it at first. All the late night backpacking trips, the rappelling off of silos in the middle of farm fields, skydiving, surf trips, rock climbing, whatever. It was a blast. But I noticed I started kind of pulling back. I had FOMO. I wanted to be a part of things, but I wanted to do it in the safest, easiest, least painful, least uncomfortable way possible. And I started kind of taking a back seat in that. Like backpacking, great. Super fun, kind of. The places you go are fun. The people you're with are fun. But man, it's hard. I was talking to my friend today. You're carrying a third of your weight, and you're usually not going downhill. You're usually going uphill. And so I started crossing things off my list that were uncomfortable, that were hard, that were painful. So backpacking, let's cross that off the list. Then there was like cliff jumping. Yeah, that can be a good time, right? It's exhilarating, you feel alive. But you also feel something else. When you jump, there's one time I jumped in the water, and the cold water, we were up at Loon Lake, the cold water got into my ears, and I got this splitting headache right away. I'm like, whoa, that's painful. Crossing that off the list. And then there's things like other things, like worship leading. I'm not a worship leader. I was always in the choir. I wasn't in the choraleers, though. Didn't make the cut. But my husband, he's very much a worship leader. And there was one time we were at a church, and he was supposed to do worship, but there were no other singers. So I'm like, I got this. I go up front, and I'm making a joyful noise. But apparently it was only a joyful noise because it was really off, and I was told that I was really off, and that was super embarrassing. So I'm like, ooh, singing in front of people? Cross that off the list. Never again, not even in front of my husband in the car. So I was starting to cross a lot of things off my list, and I noticed my world kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Sure, it was safe. Sure, it was comfortable. Sure, it was easy, but it was small. And I realized, wait a minute, a lot of things are changing for me, even driving. So how many of you have just gotten your license within the last year? Yay! Okay, exciting things. It is so exciting when you are in charge of where you go. I'm the youngest child, so maybe it was especially exciting for me because I would always go where everyone else went. But when I got my license, I got to go where I wanted to go. And it was so exciting because I could be driving, I could see a beautiful spot off in the distance, and I could pull off and park. And I would go and I would explore and I would find all kinds of wonderful things, have some good God moments, and it was just awesome to have that freedom. But as my world kept getting smaller, I realized, oh, wait a minute, there's bad people out there. Oh, and there's rattlesnakes, there's mountain lions, and there's poison oak. So really, I should be staying inside a locked car. And that's what I would do. I would pull off and stay in my car. Sure, maybe I was reading my Bible, but I was safe. And eventually, I stopped even pulling over. I would just whiz by the beauty all around me inside my safe, locked vehicle. And I was not liking who I was becoming. My world was small, and I realized I kind of built myself a little cage. Nothing catastrophic happened. I was just slowly trading aliveness for safety. And then 2020 happened. It's Easter, and I was frustrated. The world was shut down. The previous Easter was just full of fun and family and friends and laughter and connection, and now I had none of that, and I was mad. And I knew that I needed a God date. So, like old times, I got back into my car, started driving and looking for a beautiful place off the side of the road. And I found one, and I pulled over, and I sat in my car for a minute and thought, I could stay inside the car. It's comfortable in here. There's no bugs, no snakes, no bad people. Or I could step out of the car. And so I did. I got out. I explored. I had great God time. And I'm glad to say I survived. So it was a good time. You know, I started noticing, I think Andrew's adventurousness was starting to rub off on me because he's always listening to inspiring things, and I was hearing this concept that discipline equals freedom, Jocko Willink, and all these things, do hard things. So I'm surrounded by all this, and my husband, who's just amazing and does all these things, and I realized I could be braver. I could be more resilient. And so I got an opportunity one time we were out on a little family walk at Empire Mind, and we came to the little creek, and we're splashing and playing, and we see these little critters in the water. And we're kind of like, what are those things? Take a closer look, and they're little crawdads. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So to back up a little bit, yes, I had little girls, and I noticed that they were excited about the world around them. They were starting to explore and be curious about the world. And I realized that my fear, my anxiety, I didn't want to transmit that to them. And so I'm like, wait a minute, I have to be brave, not just for myself anymore, I have to be brave for my kids. And so while we're on this little outdoor adventure, I saw the crawdad, and I dared myself to pick it up, because I'm like, if I can be brave and do hard things like this, maybe they will too. And Andrew's narrative is pretty funny. He said he saw me bending over, looking in the water, and whisper, do hard things. And then I went and grabbed, and I caught it. I caught the crawdad, and I grabbed it in such a way where it didn't pinch me, so it was a triple win. And so he has a picture of me holding the crawdad, and it's one of my proudest moments as a human, is just getting this crawdad. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, I had just come home from work, and the girls said, Mom, come inside. I'm like, okay. And like, look what we found. And inside our house was a giant turtle that they had found and brought into the house. So I was thinking in my head, cool. I didn't transmit fear to my kids. They are collecting animals and bringing them into our house, and all the joy that comes with that. So thankfully, no snakes yet, but I will cross that bridge when I get there. So then there was backpacking. Oh man, I avoided it every chance I got. I didn't have to be the one to go backpacking anymore. I could just drop them off. But then 3 years ago, God was like, no, you need to get back into it. You need to do hard things. And so I was a staff member for Teen Bible Academy. It's a week-long backpacking trip, and I was not in shape for it, but that's okay. I went anyways, and it was hard. I struggled. I was at the very back of the group. Thankfully, there was another girl with me, and we struggled together. But then, and it was a great time, but then the next month, she joins cross-country. I'm like, oh man, if she does this, I should be doing it too. So we start running, and we signed up for a 10K on my birthday, which is, your birthday, you should be celebrating, doing easy, comfortable things. But here I was, somehow choosing to suffer as a way of celebrating. So, did that for my birthday. It was great. Do you know what I did for my birthday this year? I got beat up, like literally beat up. Growing up, I was not the fighter. I was the friend. I was everybody's friend. My sister, oh man, she was the fighter. Any chance she got, she was wrestling guys down, choking them out. She actually broke a guy's ankle because she had rendered him unconscious, and as he fell, he broke his ankle. So she's a beast of a warrior. She's, military, all that. That was not me. My husband, he was always into combat sports, and I was always very supportive. Yeah, I'll watch the fights. I'll be your dummy when you're trying to show people stuff. But it was not my thing. We have daughters, and as parents of daughters, you want your kids safe. And so we have always said that we want our girls to know how to defend themselves. And we thought, jiu-jitsu is perfect for that. And we finally enrolled them this last September. And it was such a sweet thing because they're having a blast with it. Andrew started going back and doing jiu-jitsu. And I was there watching them. It was a sweet time. It was a family event. And it was super awesome. But the girls started telling me, Mom, you should do it too. Like, yeah, right. There is no way I'm going to do that. I don't want to roll around with people and be sweaty and gross and get hurt. No, I'm not doing that. But then there was one day, we went to watch Andrew for his class, and I see this cute little petite girl step up onto this mat with all these 40-year-old dudes. And I'm like, wait a minute. If she can do it, maybe I can too. Oh, and she needs someone to roll with, so obviously I need to step up onto the mat. And I did, and it was so funny because suddenly I found myself being excited about being sore and having bruises. I actually had a black eye for Thanksgiving, and I'm like, my poor family, they're like, who are you? Like, this is not who you are, what's happening? And I kept saying to myself, I don't know what's happening, this is so weird. But it was so freeing, because here I was, my world that had gotten so small and so safe and so easy and comfortable. I realized I don't have to live in a small world. I can experience the life that God intended me. He wants me to be free. He says the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy, and I really felt like that's what my life was becoming. But what does he do? He says, I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly. Do you know what abundantly means? It means without, bounds, without bounds. So much of the things we experience in this life are these unnecessary rules that we make for ourselves, lies that we believe. Did you know that your brain doesn't know what's true and what's not? All it does is take the information we feed it and operate based on that. So if we're feeding ourselves lies, if we're saying, I can't do this, or this is too hard for me, or this is too scary, our brains believe it. But what does God say? He says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not anxiously look about you, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Surely I will help you. Surely I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. He says, the Bible says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So here I was living in this world, not believing God when he says that I don't have to fear, that I can do hard things. Because I was telling myself lies. Hard is bad. Pain is bad. Suffering is bad. Safety is good. But is the Christian life a very safe one? Look through history. Doesn't look very safe for most of the time. When you think about martyrs, that's not a safe world, not a safe life. But that's okay, because all we're called to do is just follow the Lamb wherever he goes. It may not be safe, it may not be easy. It may be through the valley of the shadow of death, but the fact is, he said, hey, I'm with you to the very end. Don't fear. And so, it's pretty awesome, because he didn't come to make us just free someday. He didn't come to give us just an okay existence now. He came to give us an abundant life now. He wants us to be free now, free from fear, free from the prisons that we cage ourselves in. He says, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So go and be free indeed.